Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development is the most holistic and ambitious global agenda that the international community has ever committed to in order to address the diverse global challenges faced in terms of the number of goals so far committed. On behalf of the people we serve, heads of state and government of all countries, and of course, de facto myself, these bodies have adopted the UN resolution A/Res/70/1, which is a very comprehensive, far-reaching, people-centered set of universal goals. This resolution is an agenda to create the world we want, a concrete plan of action emphasizing the development and protection of people, planet, provide prosperity, peace and partnership. Differently nuanced to its successor, the Millennium Development Goals, or otherwise acronymed MDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals formulation involved all countries in order to revitalize global partnership and collaborate across borders to resolve humanity from poverty while securing the well-being of our planet. In detail, the global community, through the SDGs, is determined to end poverty and hunger in all forms and dimensions and ensure that human beings can live to their full potential in dignity and equality in a healthy, sustainable environment. It is also committed to protect the planet from degradation and unsustainable resource utilization and take actions on climate change to preserve the planet for future generations. It also aims to ensure that all human beings enjoy prosperous lives through economic, social, and technological progress in harmony with nature, and to further foster peaceful, just, and inclusive societies. For no sustainable development occurs without peace. On that list, I want to lastly say, it will be important to mobilize the means of implementation through a very strong global solidarity. In the resolution adopted as mentioned above, world leaders pledge that no one will be left behind in the transformation of our world. It is our responsibility as governments, and particularly the government of the Republic of Namibia, to translate this pledge into real and tangible changes for all our people, and the rest, of course, of the global population. As the line minister, and with an added title, responsible for statistics, and by extension, the SDGs implementations, I am personally, and much the same for the entire Namibian government, very determined to make the implementation of the SDGs in Namibia a very resounding success. And we will see the evidence of that. We have just seen the video. This is manifested in Namibia's commitment to the voluntary national report as presented during the 2018 UN High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development Goals in New York of July 2018. Namibia's VNR was highly acclaimed and attracted positive comments and remarks, and then further on attracted complimentary review, culminating in an award for Best VNR in Malta of July 2019. The vernacular version there was urging everyone to applaud. The VNR video we just enjoyed is testimony to the hard work and dedication of the Namibian government and its development partners, all present here, in our pursuit of excellence in achieving the SDGs. It suffices here thus to say and acknowledge with deep appreciation the great effort and support of GIZ and UNDP in this endeavor. Omake? Ladies and gentlemen, I am therefore positive that we are establishing a conducive environment through the implementation of the SDGs for the next generation, those not as yet born, to one day inherit a better and a more prosperous world and country, with a peaceful, inclusive society with decent jobs, and an intact environment with a very succinct biodiversity, while guaranteeing an environment where everybody in the Namibian house feels his or her dignity respected and has the chance of a fulfilling life. Agenda 2030 further offers a huge opportunity for the country to converge and harmonize the variety of development activities more effectively. Despite the government committing to Agenda 2030, it is not a governmental agenda, but rather involves the participation, creativity, expertise, and motivation of all actors, from National Planning Commission to the private sector, from universities to the international community, and indeed all citizens of this country and the world. While Agenda 2030 is premised on substantial sets of indicators to monitor its progress, it is comprised, as we have heard from the chairman's son, ably narrating each one of those. It is comprised of 17 goals. It is buttressed by 169 targets and 244 indicators, which indicators shall provide a very succinctly clear socio-economic picture of any nation. Information is essential and inherent, a basis input in making good and informed decisions. I stand proudly grateful and delighted to be the one launching the first National Sustainable Development Goals Baseline Report, the SDG NDP 5 Indicator Framework, as well as the SDG portal. This report and its monitoring tools could not have come at the most opportune time in the light of the fact that His Excellency, Dr. Hage Gottfried Geingob, the President of the Republic of Namibia, declared the year 2019 as the year of accountability. The tools further provide the guidance so needed to detect the measurables, while providing the capacity to determine any shortcoming or deficits in the data production system. More so, we now have better guidance identifying progress while mapping impediments, and at the same time prioritizing policy frameworks accordingly. The monitoring of the SDGs implementation is a universal approach without which comparative assessment of progress being achieved will negate how well Namibia is faring in the global context. As of today, we are covering about 70% of the SDG indicators through national and international sources. Although this is a substantial level of data available, I believe that more frequent information should be made available in the country. And we, the government, must take action to ensure that such information is shared and made available more broadly and readily to stakeholders. It often happens that we make use of data released by international agencies, but originated from local national sources. This often creates contradictory pictures and conflicts, a situation that has the potential to undermine local reporting structures. For purposes of harmonizing such contradictions, there is an urgent need of strengthening the control measures around the release of such information, while maintaining authenticity and required national certification in the interest of transparency. Such measures will undoubtedly enhance accountability while entrenching public confidence. I am also grateful, therefore, that we, with the launching of the SDG Baseline Report, a first step is being made in fulfilling the pledge to foster, enhance, and discernible transparency and accountability as a consequence, on account of the information presented today and subsequent updates in the next coming years through the SDG portal, hosted by the Namibian Statistics Agency. The findings in this report should serve as a starting point for future trend assessments, and it is a basis facilitation of evidence-based discussions on policy prioritization in the country. With the release of this SDG Baseline Report, I am confident of the fact that we are surely on the right track. Ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of leave no one behind, the now world-famous mantra of the SDGs, the Baseline Report being launched today, has been translated in the Braille version to allow the visual impaired members of our society being provided information about the SDGs. There is a Braille version available, and I'd like all of us to stand and applaud that we are really inclusive